Welcome to a cold Brook Street for Paarl Boys High taking on the visitors Bishops. And we caught up with Stuart Abbott, who played for England in the early 2000s, ex-Bishops boy.
Hi, my name's Stuart Abbott. I played for Bishops in '95, captained the team in '96, before playing for Province Stormers in SA in '23. Then went over to London, played for London Wasps and Harlequins, as well as for England. I loved playing rugby at Bishops in the sense that, you know, you always had the freedom to express yourself and to go out and play what you saw in front of you. We had some very good teams over the years. We were unbeaten in 15 under 16. Coaches were obviously Basil Bantam, Hamilton Smith, legendary coaches, and they really kind of installed a lot of confidence and let us do what we kind of saw in front of us, which was great. I think that year we beat Paarl Boys, we drew to Paul Rus and beat Paul Jim, so that was a very good feat for us. I started out with the Griffins, which was quite a tough experience, pretty different environment to play rugby in. I suppose you learn in defeat to be gracious. We lost a lot that year, playing a lot against obviously open rugby. We were 20, 21, so it was a good learning experience. Something I probably wouldn't want to repeat again, but yeah, I took a lot out of it. It was a springboard to get another contract and actually come back to Cape Town. I'd played 2 years here in Cape Town. I played for Province, I played for the Stormers, I played SA23 for 2 years, but there was still a hell of a lot of quality players, specifically centre. We had Robbie Fleck, David Barry, Wayne Judies was in the mix, Maurice Chabert. I decided to go and play overseas, so I just kind of said to myself, let me go for 18 months and just enjoy it and see what happens, and you know, I ended up staying there for 8 years. So I arrived at Wasps in the end of 2001. I thought I made the biggest mistake of my life. We were bottom of the log. 2 coaches got fired the week I was there, but luckily for us, Sean Edwards and Warren Gatlin came in. We had a good team, we had a good squad: Simon Shaw, Lawrence Delalio, Josh Lucy, Rob Howley, Matt Dawson, Joe Wesley, so some real quality players, but we kind of just needed a new coach and a new fitness regime to come into play. And after that we won, I think it was 6 trophies in 4 years, so it really kind of changed a lot of people's careers as well. Playing for England was obviously a great honour and a privilege. My mother English, obviously. Yeah, the journey was basically over 12 months. We won the Premiership and the European Cup. I luckily got the chance to go on tour with England. We played against the Maoris. We came back and it was World Cup preparations, and yeah, it was a tough 6 to 8 weeks, but luckily I made the squad at the end of the day. I've retired from rugby now, but I'm still involved in the sense that I'm involved in a rugby agency called Le Cap Sports. We've got 5 agents and currently represent about, I would say, about 120 or 130 players, locally and overseas. So I still try and keep a close eye on all games and youngsters coming through. Look, it's going to be a tough game. Paarl Boys is traditionally probably the best school in South Africa. Go out, give it your best shot, and most of all, just go and enjoy it.
Welcome to an icy Brook Street. We are on the foot of Paarl Mountain, about 60 kilometers northeast of Cape Town. It is Paarl Boys, the hosts, taking on Bishops, all the way from Rondebosch. And the last time Bishops defeated Paarl Boys was on this field in 2010, 8 years ago. But today, in 2018, the Bishops side has been performing strongly. They're coming off a great victory against the performing Wynberg side last week. Paarl Boys, however, lost for the first time in over 3 seasons. They did not win in the month of May. That was due to a loss to Grey College, followed by Paul Rus, who are #1 in the country. Bishops will be fancying their chances, but they will have a lot to do. With me in the commentary box today is Andries Strauss. Good day, Andries.
Good day, Justin, and great to be back again with you behind the mic. As you mentioned, a cold day here in Paarl, and well-deserved rain came down last night and the night before, and the field's pretty wet underfoot, and we could expect a lot of kicking, a lot of territory game being played out here today. And I'm just looking forward to see this Paarl Boys side perform like they can. They've lost a couple of matches during this season, but it doesn't mean they're a bad team. They still have a lot of quality individuals in their side, and they've underperformed a little this year, and we're just waiting for the day that they'll hit their straps and start playing the rugby we know they can.
Well, We're just going to cut to a Liberty break.
Liberty is excited to be the sponsor of School Sport Live. We recognize the need to bring the games or this platform to our households, and better yet, to bring it through to everybody in the world. The significance of school sport in the building of character and leadership is something that we value. We are also big supporters of families, communities, and bringing all of those things together. So we are proud that we can be involved in this activity. From myself, Carlo Gill, and all the guys at Liberty, we wish all the teams really good luck today and all the best.
Bishop's season so far in 2018, they've played 9 games and they have won 7. 2 losses coming to Paarl and Boland Landbou. And they are making their way out onto the field. Bishops led by, for the first time, Captain Victor Allen, who is coming in for an injured Justin Mother. What a time for Victor Allen. Paarl Boys High, well, they're led by SA Schools player last year, Adrian Alberts. The front row is the Vet Vulita. Cullen van der Merwe played in this fixture last year and crossed the whitewash. The Mammoth, Robert Bester, Emil van Heerden and Adrian Alberts are the locks. Loose trio of Lowenhorn, Armin Postumus, and the human wrecking ball, Evan Roos. Halfback combination is Vian van der Sant and Kian Meaden. Back 3, Javier Farmer, Carl Uys, and Reese Duplessis. He's got a lot of pace. The centres are Quinn Horn and Nathan Bezadenote, and we see Adrian Alberts, all muscle and pump, leading his side out onto the fortress, Brick Street. Bishops, the front row, Ollie Mac Roberts, Alex Castle is the hooker, David Curry is the tight head prop, Anna Umtumbeni, who gets through a lot of work, and Tim Sharples are at lock. David Nivison playing on the open side for Justin Mother. Michael Roach coming in from wing to play at the blind side. Will be interesting to see how he does. The prodigy, Izzy Wharton, who has been a standout. The 9 is Klusman, who comes in for an injured Willie Rose. Geordie Mayer is the fly-off. Victor Allen, captain, with Harry Newman is the centre combination. Thomas Burton, Bingo Ivanisevic, and Luca Liebenberg are the back 3. Familiar figure in the middle today, Jonathan Kaplan. He has refed 70 tests, and he looks as serious as ever.
Fantastic to have a qualified and a quality ref in this fixture today. He's been around the block a bit. He knows the rugby game more than anyone, I suppose, and the rules of the game more than anyone does. And he's a perfect man to referee this fixture between 2 quality rugby schools.
Kian Meaden will be getting the 87th game between these sides underway. Tough one for Luca Liebenberg, getting a start on the right wing. And Paarl Boys have the line-out.
Not the ideal start there for Bishops. The ball not fielded from the air, and it looks like the left winger, Javier Farmer, for Paarl Boys have hurt himself in that contest in the air. A slightly messy start for Bishops. Just an opportunity here for Paarl Boys High to put some pressure on this team early on in this fixture.
You see big tight head, the Mammoth, Robert Bester. What a unit, 125 kilograms. Cullen van der Merwe at hooker. And then David Vulita, the loose head prop of Paarl Boys. Van der Sant will feed. Brilliant scrum. Van der Sant to Meaden. It's a loose pass, work for Horn. And Bishops will enjoy this. But Jonathan Kaplan brings us back for scrum.
I think the forwards would be smiling, Justin. There's nothing they like more than a good old scrum. And they've managed to get 2 of them within the first 2 minutes of this game. So, old big Robert Bester, David Voliter, McCorbett and David Curry would be smiling at this. Interesting to see number 9, Leon Klusman here for Bishop. Played at the 15 position in the previous matches and replaces Willie Rose at 9 for this match.
Ivanisevic at fly-off. Tough one there for Burton. So it's picked up by Paarl Boys, and they get the ball back. Evan Roos to Alberts, his captain. Kaplan says knock on, scrum to Paarl boys.
Very messy start here, Justin. Slight breeze blowing on the field from the right to left as you see it on the screen right now. And not the easiest of handling conditions. No rain as we see now, as we play now, but it has been wet this morning and the ball probably slightly wet also. But the pass is not sticking and the four is getting a scrum every minute at the moment. We'd like to see some rugby being played.
Van der Sant to Kian Meaden. Out the back to Carlu Ace, the right winger joining the line. Van der Sant and the captain Alberts again running into Mtombeni. Anu Mtombeni trying to get the turnover. Rubert Bester with a flashy pass and it hasn't worked out. The Platinum Blues have possession. Klusman to Mtombeni now. Tackle made by Nathan Bezadenote. Klusman to Jordy Meyer, who's been a standout in 2018, and it is marked by Reece du Plessis.
Great defence there by Bishops, getting off the line quite hard, making it difficult for Paarl boys to get the ball to the edges. Being windy, not the easiest of handling conditions, and then Jordy Meyer using the wind at his back to get some territory.
Well, in 2010, when Bishops last beat Boys High, the score was 13-12, and Timmy Sweel, who's playing for the Harlequins, played for Bishops that day. Castle will feed. Meyer. Popping up with it is Roach. Curie with a good pass there to Nivison. Mtombeni again looking for a lot of work. The lock forward. Jordy Meyer. Penalty to Bishops.
The early momentum with Bishops at the moment, Justin, and playing very good rugby, keeping the ball in hand and forcing Boys Eye to make some tackles. Just interesting to see Sir Michael Roach on in the back row at the moment. We're used to seeing him out on the wing and now backing into the scrum, carrying ball off 10 and used to being on the edges. So interesting to see him play today.
It'll also be a big afternoon for Jordy Meyer. Doesn't really kick for posts. It's normally Willie Rose who's out with the hamstring strain. But it's a chance for Jordy Meyer to get his team on the board for the first time. Off the uprights and well chased by Captain Victor Allen. Great chance for the Platinum Blues. Mtombeni. Good defense by Paarl boys, but Bishops through Ivanisevic. He has the most spirit in the southern suburbs, Bingo Ivanisevic. Here comes Allen. Klusman finds Tim Sharples, the head boy. That's everywhere. The Paarl boys have it back. Reece du Plessis, the small little fullback, pops it to Farmer, the left winger. Van der Sant says he has enough of that, but that's out on the full.
Really slow start to this match. Not much happening, and Bishop's taking a bit of initiative there and putting some pressure on Boys Eye, and luckily for them, turned the ball over. It's been a really slow start, Justin. Not been a lot of intent shown from either teams. It's as if they're just feeling each other out at the moment.
Sharples up for it, gives it to Wharton. Castle's at the back as well. Well, Bishops giving Paarl boys a taste of their own medicine here. What a moment it would be if they could get the first try. It's there for Kluisman. Finds Nivison. David Nivison scored a fantastic try on Paarl Reese against Weinberg. It's really a big chance here for the Platinum Blues. Picked up by Izzy Wharton. But obstruction, so it's a scrum to Paarl boys. They breathe.
Intent shown there by Bishops, and boys are standing up to the challenge. It's good to see, get a bit of energy into this match, Justin. We've not seen a match. If you look at Koos van der Wamber, the former coach of Western Province and Griquas, his son is playing at hooker for Paarl boys today, Callum van der Merwe.
What a moment it is for Izzy Wharton coming up against one of the best eighth men in the country, Evan Ruis. Van der Sant. Boys Eye trying to set up a platform before they release the clearance. Good take by Tommy Burton on the left wing. Victor Allen in a bit of a mess. Hacked ahead there by Roach. But Boys Eye have it back through Lohan Horn and then Rupert Bester with a loose pass. And here they go. That's a big run there by Horn. Boys Eye looking to launch. Lohan Horn almost getting through. Van der Sant to Bester, the tight head prop. So their best passage of play so far, Boys Eye, as they head up towards halfway. Van der Sant, Alberts again with his third carry, the big man. Evan Ruis getting over the gain line. Boys Eye doing well to punch Bishop's line here. Quinn Horn in support. Alberts again, this time passes it to Evan Ruis. 105 kilogram eighth man. Devet Fulita might be held up here. Great defense by Sharples. Great defense by Bishops. They up for it. What a turnover that is.
Great defense by Bishops, and Tommy Sharples, what an inspiration he is to his side. Lifts it and plays for his team every single weekend, brings a lot of energy, brings a lot of go forward momentum, and obviously a lot of leadership also. As the rain starts coming down, and that slight breeze that we were talking about earlier, Justin, that's turned into quite a strong wind, favouring Bishops at the moment, and a bit of rain to come with it.
Well, the rain will suit the hosts. Bishops without Willie Rose and Justin Mother today. Two fantastic players. Can the boys from Rondebosch step up? Guzman will feed. Bishops get the scrum right. Victor Allen, the captain. Kaplan says we'll have a reset.
Yeah, I suspect we're going to see a lot of scrums here today, Justin. A strong wind, a bit of rain makes it extremely tough to handle the ball, and both these sides are traditionally teams that like to move it around, especially Bishops aren't fond of kicking position away. So we will see a lot of this happening today. Like I mentioned earlier, Devet Voliter, Robert Jube, David Curran, Ollie McCorbett, they'll be happy about this. And I'll tell you what, I think Jonathan Kaplan's going to have his hands full also.
We just see Bingo Ivanisevic at the back there, playing at fullback today. A lethal runner with the ball in hand. Wharton goes blind to Kluisman. He's got Luca Liebenberg on his right. What a break this is from Kluisman. The chip over the top. It doesn't work out. Boys High. Well, it does actually work out because Bishops have the scrum. What a break that was.
Yeah, fantastic break by Liam Klusman. He showed a bit of pace that he showed playing at 15, saw the space in front of him, took it quite nicely. Unfortunately, the chip got charged down. And let's just mention Luan Horn working hard to get back for Boys Eye and unfortunately knocking that ball on. Advantage Bishops at the moment, wind at their sails, playing all the rugby, might I say. And this is a golden opportunity for them to get some points on the board.
Well, Klusman is a natural scrum off, and that's why. Geordie Mayer away to Victor Allen, giving it to the Badger, Bingo Ivanisevic. Klusman goes to Izzy Wharton. Collier's doing a fantastic job there, trying to hold him up. Klusman gives it to Ollie McRoberts. Mtombeni almost finding some space, and that's gone forward.
Unfortunate knock on by Bishops, and a lot of pressure being put here on Boys Eye, and they're going to have to defend with all their worth for the first half. There's a strong wind behind Bishops, and they're going to play all the rugby on this part of the field. And at this stage, Boys Eye just holding on to it. But like we mentioned, Justin, a quality team with quality players, and you expect them to be able to absorb this, to handle this pressure, and come back fighting.
Van der Sant provides. Boys Eye, fantastic scrum. They headed up through the number 12, Nathan Bezadenotes. Boys Eye camped on their goal line, and that's not out. Tommy Burton to Bingo Ivanisevic. He always sniffs an opportunity, this fella. Luca Liebenberg on the right wing. Klusman to Izzy Wharton. Alex Castle, Geordie Mayer back on the inside. Lovely work by Bishops. But the defense of Boys High is strong. Mtombeni to Geordie Mayer. Fantastic stuff. Luca Liebenberg with the offload to Bingo Ivanisevic. Here come Bishops. Did he get it down? Kaplan says no. But Bishops throwing everything at Boys High, Andres.
Great passage of play by Bishops. A lot of ball through hand there. They got some amazing offloads going. And as a result of that, some line breaks. And I'll tell you what, Justin, very unfortunate not to get awarded that try. But Jonathan Kaplan, the experienced referee that he is, did not see the ball grounded. And Bishops do look dangerous when they take the ball out wide.
In it goes, but we'll have a reset. Please remember to interact with School Sports Live on all social media platforms. Keep your comments coming in. It's a fantastic initiative sponsored by Liberty here today, making this stream possible. And as a result, you can watch South African schoolboy rugby all over the world. Klusman to Geordie Mayer, Victor Allen to Harry Newman. Nivison, the open side flanker, Horn trying to hold him up. Bishops need to cash in now. This is a golden moment in the game. Mtombeni, really close. Klusman, skip pass to Nivison. Well, Paarl boys are dodging bullets, Andres.
They are, and they're doing well to absorb this pressure. A lot of questions being asked here of the Paarl boys' eye defense, and they're managing it quite nicely. Getting off the line and making solid tackles. As soon as you slip off a tackle in this part of the field, if it's not a try, then you're sure to exceed one in the next phase. So they're doing exceptionally well, and a lot of pressure and a lot of lots being asked here of Kian Meaden to try and get them out of this half with the wind being in his face.
Picked up by Ruiz to Van der Sant. And it's not out again. Bingo Ivanisevic offloads it. Work for Geordie Meyer. It's a penalty to Boys High.
That is exactly the break that Boys High needed to get back into this match. They absorbed a lot of pressure for about 5 minutes on their own try line, did not concede a try. Penalty here, and the first opportunity for Boys High to get into the Bishop's half and play a bit of rugby with the ball in hand.
Well, Boys High only played 2 games in May, lost both to Grey College and Paarl. So they look to get the monster going here on the Brook Street Fortress. Van der Sant, Kian Meadet to Nathan Bezuidenhout. Meaden gives it to Reece du Plessis, a wiry player. Van der Sant giving it there to Loan Horn. Rupert Bester likes to carry the ball, the tight end prop. Van der Sant finds Meaden, space on the right. This could be trouble. Great defense by Bishops. They're definitely here to play rugby, Andres.
They definitely are, Justin, and at the moment Boys are not being willing to take the hard yards close up to the pack of forwards and working hard to get those yards. They're shifting the ball across the field, and Bishops are doing well to fill the field defensively, and they're getting off quite hard off the line and making good solid tackles. At this stage, you'd want to see Boys keep hold of the ball, take those hard yards close to the racks, let the forwards start chipping down at the territory, and when it is truly on, to take the opportunity. At this stage, it feels like they're just forcing the ball out wide a couple of phases too early.
Klusman to feed. Geordie Meyer decides to go with the educated boots, but that's straight to Reece du Plessis. And he'll have a go. Straight into Newman and Luca Liebenberg. And it's a penalty to Bishops.
The right option there by du Plessis, deciding to run the ball into the strong wind. It really is a strong wind. I'm probably overemphasizing this, but it is strong breeze into their faces, so it's better off to run it back at the defense and hold on to the ball. So right option there, unfortunately being penalized for holding on to the ball on the ground.
Well, some of you will remember in the fixture last year at Paarl, it was bolting down with rain. Castle, wonderful line out to Wharton. Ntombeni retrieving the ball at the back. It's at the base for Klusman. Victor Allen, the captain today. What a proud moment for the inside centre. Klusman, so far he's doing a brilliant job at scrum off. Pressure on Boys High. Geordie Meyer there went with a weird sort of a kick, and it's worked out, Andres.
It's a great little option. Saw some space in behind Boys High, chipped it into the space, and then followed up that nicely. You know, kick is only as good as the chase, and there was a good chase there, and they forced the scrum 5 meters out with a fantastic attacking opportunity. You have to mention that they've been camping in the 22 meter of Boys High and have not capitalized on that. In about 20 minutes time, they're going to play into the wind, and Boys High will have the wind behind them, and then they're going to have to know what they're doing, and they have to get a lead if they want to have any chance at winning it.
Geordie Meyer to Luca Liebenberg joining the line. He's a stocky character. Izzy Wharton having a go, but gets driven back. Klusman finds Ollie McRoberts, the tight end prop, or the loose head, should I say. Mtombeni gaining meters. Izzy Wharton so close. You would have backed him there to finish. He's finished. The prodigy scores.
Fantastic try, well deserved there by Bishop. They fought really hard to get over the whitewash, and they have. It looks like it is Izzy Wharton staying down, or Izzy Wharton scoring the try, and David Nivison staying down. But fantastic try, good work by the forwards, and never great to see a player stay down after a big hit or a big contact like that. As we look at this again, Justin, great work by the Bishops pack of forwards, and exactly what we said a minute ago about what we'd expect from Boys High. Strong work by everyone involved. If you looked at Jordan Mayer, will hopefully just pop this over. What she duly does, gets a lucky break off the right hand upright there. And just never great to see the medics on the field. And as we just have another look at this, the forwards, Glisman managing them quite nicely. Little ball out there to Izzy Wharton. Big hit on him there by Robert Bester. Picked up by Nevison and got over for the try. And Izzy Wharton looked like he sustained a massive hit against the head. Great finish there by Nevison.
That was great work there by Nevison. Geordie Mayer's in all sorts of trouble. And Boys High have a chance now. 5 meters out.
Justin, we saw this last week from Bishops playing against Wynberg. They put points on the board and then straight away allowed the opposition side to have a crack at them in their own half. And it's something they're going to have to sort out if they want to start competing against the best in the country. After you've scored points, it's crucial to field that kickoff and start playing rugby in opposition half again.
So yeah, they go with the tank engine. Boys High, they'll back themselves here. Rupert Bester, the mammoth. Cullen van der Merwe scored against Bishops last year. Can they strike back? Van der Sant goes on the short side. Picked up. This is the hard yards here. Rupert Bester is waiting for it. Agonizingly close, and we'll have the scrum.
Defensively, good work being done by Bishops, and Boys are having a crack up tight, and unfortunate not to finish that off, but they've got the scrum and another opportunity to have a go. The winds and the rain is belting down at the moment. It can't be the most pleasant thing to play footy out here today, Justin.
Wharton will be a big blow. But for that try, that blow might have been the silver lining, which resulted in the try for Nevison. Boys High to cash in here. Evan Ruiz, the human wrecking ball is over for the score. Boys High strike back.
Yeah, Boys High strike back immediately after succeeding 5 or 7 points. This guy, Evan Ruiz, just a mammoth human being, 105 kgs as a schoolboy, biceps as big as rugby balls, fantastically conditioned athlete, and gets a well-deserved try there.
Adrian Alberts just chatting to his team, telling them that we need more of that, boys. And Meaden will have the shot at goal. He raises the flags, Kian Meaden. 7-all at Brook Street in Paarl. 10 minutes to go before half time.
Kian Meaden, another youngster that you watch, a quality player, grade 11 this year, kicks the ball nicely. A good set of hands in him and an intelligent rugby brain to go with it.
Posthumous there. The blindside flanker. Van der Sant just inside his own 22. Difficult one there for Sharples. And it's play on. No, it's not. Kaplan has his arm out. So it'll be a scrum to Bishops.
All the experience Jonathan Kaplan has, he doesn't miss much, does he, Justin? He'll see the slightest knock on, even though you think he'll get away with it. He's been around the block, knows all the tricks of the trade, and it's an absolute pleasure to have him out here today.
Klusman to feed. Jordy Meyer, Victor Allen to Luca Liebenberg. Well, Bishop's playing like it's a hot summer's day here. Off that scrum, Tim Sharples. Klusman works the short side there to one of his front rankers. Sharples getting over the gain line. Meyer, Nibison under pressure. Rube Bester with a turnover. Look at the Mammoth go. The tight end prop. Great run. Popping up on that blind side. Loan Horn. That's a penalty. Adrian Alberts. This could be trouble. No arms in the tackle there.
Great turnover there by Boise. Tight end prop. Robert Best, Mammoth boy, is called Kuni by his mates. I presume named after Kuni Westes and the Springbok tight end forward. And a penalty going the way of Boise after a tackle by Bishops using no arms. Not from that, it was from the previous ruck where one of the Bishops boys tackled without using his arms.
Meaden finds touch. Van der Merwe takes his time. Rube Bester couldn't see anything there. Some trickery there from Bishops. Van der Sant to Meaden. Great ball to Quinn Horn. Quinn Horn still going. He's over for the try. What a try by the outside centre.
Fantastic try by Boise. Great line ran there by Quinn Horn. Kian Meaden holding the ball up just a little bit, enough for the defence to bite in on him. Putting Quinn Horn into some space. He had some work to do to get over the whitewash, Justin, but this is the Boise team that we know. So you look at that highlight, Kian Meaden holding up just a fraction, drawing in a defender, and then Quinn Horn. Great finish to get 5 points on the board for his team.
Well, Quinn Horn spent most of his time so far in the team on the wing, and he's plying his trade at outside centre today. Kian Meaden to add the extras. Delicate kick there by Kian Meaden. 14 plays 7. Paarl boys with the advantage.
It's a great kick by Kian Meaden into this breeze, and another 7-pointer for Boise. And Justin, we've mentioned it in some of our earlier matches, such an important time on the game to score. And Boise have done that right. They've scored points in the right time of the game. Just before half-time and just after half-time, incredibly important to get some points on the board, and they've done exactly that.
And they've taken their chances too as well. Well, it's raining out here. You wouldn't say that the Western Cape has been in a drought with weather like this. We've had good rain over the past week or so. Castle with the throw.
You can just see the rain coming down sideways at the moment. Wind picking up, rain picking up. And these are the moments you play rugby for, Justin. Remember the wins that you get from these matches.
Get out of the road there. What a run by Alex Castle. Bishops with a chance to level the scores. Aidan MacDonald. Tim Sharples. The lock forward. Paarl boys going for the turnover here. But it's a penalty. Klusman looking to take it quickly, but decides not to.
Right in the middle of the field, right in front of the upright. An easy 3 points here for Bishops, but I suspect we'll want to get more from this.
Well, what a statement this would be if they could cash in here just before the break. Tumbeni loses it. Paarl boys can get out of trouble here. Van der Sant finds touch almost. It's still in play. No, the touch judge has his flag up. Boys' Eye spectators going berserk there. They're there in their numbers.
They probably felt that ball did not go out. He had the touchy with his flag up and then took it down again and then put it back up again, so a slight confusion on the far side of the field. The range is coming down harder and harder, and everyone in the Western Cape would be ecstatic about this.
The heavens have opened at Brook Street. Boys' Eye get it back. Goes behind Evan Roos there, so Postumus has to pick that up. Kian Meaden with a chip ahead. Work for Klusman. It's a mud bath out there. Evan Roos doing what his side needs him to do. What a run that was. Loose for Newman to Michael Roach. Here we go with Burton. Penalty to Bishops. Captain is having a word with Adrian Alberts there, the captain.
Jonathan Captain just explaining the reason for his penalty. Explaining to Adrian Alberts that the player can compete for the ball if he's on his feet, but if he's on his elbows, he's not supporting his own body weight, and hence the penalty in favour of Bishops. And this is an interesting decision. 45 meters out on the angle, and Geordie Meyer says, Timmy Sharples, I'm having a go.
Well, it's icy cold out here on the Brook Street Fortress, and the rain is coming down hard. And what a kick this would be for Geordie Meyer just before half-time if he can bring this home. Timmy Sweel would be proud. He's given that a whack. He slots it. Can you believe it? What a kick by Geordie Meyer.
Fantastic kick by Geordie Meyer, and again scoring points just before half-time, taking a bit of momentum into this half, and 14 points plays 10. Boys' Eye getting the favour of the win in this second half, and a lot to look forward to.
Well, that was a physical first half by the two sides. It's pouring down here. Paarl boys 14, Bishops 10. Second half to come. We'll cut over for the commercial break.
You know, as much as we're looking to try and find the next Springbok, I think the reality is that we're actually just looking to empower kids. Sport has always been and always will hopefully continue to be that sort of secret ingredient that gives kids an opportunity. There was a tall, lanky 12-year-old. There was no doubt that he had that innate ability to play. And sport allows boys to grow physically, emotionally, and grow in confidence. And it doesn't have to be a rugby journey. It can be a journey into something else. But maybe this is the sort of opportunity to awaken a dream.
He gets ready for Saturday morning cricket an hour before he has to. He practices his swing, telling anyone who'll listen that one day he'll face the best cricketers in the world. His dad hasn't told him yet that they've got tickets to the upcoming test match. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that makes your son's dreams possible: your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing.
Well, we are back at half-time. It is Paarl Boys 14, Bishops 10. And Bishops opened up the accounts through, well, it was almost through Izzy Wharton, who got basically knocked out and the ball was loose, and David Nivison was there to get his second try in 2 weeks. And then it was Boys High who hit back through the human wrecking ball, Evan Ruiz, and then also Quinn Horn. Henri Swell, considering Bishops are without 3 of their star players, a 4-point ball game, they've done tremendously well.
They have done well, Justin, and they've dominated the defence in this match. They've defended really nicely, and a couple of silly areas allowed Boys Eye to get into this match. But having said that, Boys Eye were outstanding to keep Bishops out for all their time in the first half. They defended their line with pride and honour. They kept Bishops out for most of the first half and then managed to get the lead going into the second half with a win at their back. And we look at the tries here. Wharton with a strong carry, big tackle there by Cooney, well, the man they called Cooney, Robert Bester, and then Nivison with a leg drive to get over for the 5 points. As we look at this from the other side, another massive tackle there by both prop forwards, I might say, Volita and Bester, and Nivison going over for 5 points. As we look at this, the human wrecking ball, Evan Ruiz, strong carry, not even an attempt of a tackle on the big man, 5 points on the board. I don't know who'd want to tackle that coming straight at you. And then this drive, probably the pick of them all. Good drive set up by Boys Eye. Kian Meaden holding the ball up just long enough to draw 2 defenders, and then Horn running a fantastic line to get over the try. And then 2 well-converted tries, I might add. A win into the face. Kian Meaden doing well to get it over. As we look at, I don't know if I want to say this, Justin, the sun coming out slightly after that torrential rain we've had, and I think no one more happy than Jonathan Kaplan at the moment for this.
Just see Michael Roach and Luca Liebenberg having a joke there. And Geordie Meyer, well, he has been instrumental in Bishops' performances of 2018. Some fine wins that they have recorded, especially over Grey High School and then Weinberg last week.
One man we've not seen much about this today is David Curie. He's normally a big, strong ball carrier for them. We've not mentioned his name too often. You'd like to see the big boy get himself into this match.
Captain Fantastic, Alberts. A storming run by the lock forward. This is great stuff. It's Quinn Horn, the try scorer. Doing well in the number 13 jumper. Alberts again. Boy, oh boy, he gets through a lot of work. Robert Bester, well, he lets the pie go that time. Klusman's there, but we'll come back for the scrum.
It's a great tackle there by David Curry. We've just spoken about him, and he puts in a big tackle to get the ball back into Bishops' hands. Just worth the mention, another Bishops lad that I walked into before the kickoff today, Hal Luscombe. Played in the midfield for Bishops in '99, went over to Wales, represented Wales in 20-odd test matches, back living in Paarl. And it's good to have the old boys come out and support their sides.
Kuzman, the kid from Strand, feeds. Geordie Mayer popping it up. Strong run by the captain, Victor Allen. Bishop's not going away. Yes, Sharples into the tackle there of Armand Postumus. That time it's Alex Castle. Well, if Bishops can score here, Paarl boys will be in doubts. Lee Duplessis at the back there, gathers.
Reece Duplessis doing well to gather that ball, and Kian Meading holding on to the shirt of Victor Allen there, and looked like he was skiing in Paarl today. Just good to see the Bishops boy going the direct route in this in the wet weather, and then also Geordie Mayer having the presence of mind to look for space in behind boys on.
Well, both these sides have tough fixtures next week. Bishops have Bosch at Bosch, and then Paarl boys play Lantbo. Not Boys High's best lineouts, so Nibison says he'll take that. Michael Roach, good tackle there by Postumus. Kuzman has to do the mopping work there. Castle plays at halfback. Geordie Mayer. That's skillfully done, Andries.
Definitely is, Justin. Good kick in again behind Boys Eye, looking for space and finding it nicely. The wind has died down a little, not as strong as it was in the first half, and that would play into the hands of Bishops. It affords them the opportunity to get into the Boys Eye half and play rugby.
Well, they've made a hash of 2 lineouts in a row now, and Andries, this is definitely a moment for Bishops to get back into this game and get back in front.
Definitely, Justin. It's not an opportunity that Boys Eye had to have these many cracks in the half of Bishops in the first half, and they have to capitalise on this. They do have the wind in their faces, and when they get back into their own half, it will be tough for them to get back into a point-scoring opportunity like this. Probably a little weather enforced, but we've not seen a lot of Bingo Ivanisevic today, and he's the exciting man with ball in hand.
Geordie Mayer to Tommy Burton, coming off his wing channel there. In the 22, the head boy Sharples. Kuzman finds Charlie Yates. Mtombeni gaining valuable meters, the lock forward. They're in the red zone. Victor Allen, the captain. This will be to take the lead. Kuzman working the short side. Bishop say it's a try, but captain says no ways.
It's fantastic work by the Bishop pack of forwards. Seeing that Boys are a bit of holding up that tackle, it would have been a scrum the other way, realised that and made sure they drove him over the try line, hence scrum back to Bishops and another opportunity to have a crack.
Big moments, and Boys High get the turnover under pressure. Well, that was error-ridden.
Kian Meaden almost making one of the biggest mistakes of his life, just trying to keep that ball in. Probably better off just let it go into the dead ball area as it did. Fortunately for him, and otherwise that would have been 7 points for Bishops.
It's there this time. Kruisman to Luca Liebenberg. Defense by Boys High is there. Kruisman. Two Bishops have the composure. They come on the short side to Timothy Sharples. It's a penalty advantage here, and here come Bishops. Through their inventory men. So close. Agonizingly close here. It's a golden moment for them. Kruisman on the short side. But we might come back for the penalty. We do.
Great play there by Bishops, putting a lot of pressure on Boys High. Doing well to keep them out. But at one stage, I thought one of the Bishops boys were over. Great defense by Boys High to keep them just short.
A devious plan coming up. Mtombeni wants to score. Working their way towards the line. Can they put the hammer down? And it's been lost forward. So it's a missed chance.
Bishops camping in the Boys High half. We're 7 minutes into the second half. We've not seen Boys High on this side of the field, Justin, and Bishops, they have to capitalize at the moment. They've had so many opportunities that they've blundered. And you can't help but think that this is the time for them to strike. This is the time for them to get ahead.
Thrown in by Van der Sant, but that's everywhere.
Referee Jonathan Kaplan saying that ball came out the mouth of the scrum. And they're going to reset that to another opportunity for Boys High to have a go. Still have the win at their back, and they'd look forward to get this ball into the half of Bishops to defend there and hopefully then create an opportunity to attack from.
14-10. It's tight. It's wet. Burton, Gallers, Ivanisevic. And he goes on a run. That is a good run by Bingo the Badger. He's a tough character. Harry Newman, the outside centre, looking to set the foundation. Gone forward there. Boys High now have a chance to launch an attack.
It's a great result for Boys High. That ball didn't go out from the kick, defended well, and forced the scrum on the halfway line of Bishops, of the field really. And you'd like to think over here they have a crack, but Justin, with the win at their backs, it could be a viable option to kick it deep into the Bishops half, defend well again, and then really have an opportunity to have a crack.
Well, Michael Roach is down. Reese Duplessis, the number 15.
Michael Roach probably thinking of this is a tough old game if you're not spending the whole match on the wing. He's getting stuck in today in the forward play, carrying ball, making tackles, and introduced to the fire, as they say.
Evan Ruiz at the back, the number 8. This time, that's Van der Sant take it, and it's been knocked on there by Reese Duplessis. Well, both teams struggling in the conditions.
The ball is getting more slippery as we go, Justin, and tough up there at the moment. You have to play the percentages at this stage and play the game in the right half of the field, the right part of the field, and then just have a crack and take the hard yards to get some reward.
Bishops with a steady scrub. Geordie Mayer, Victor Allen gives it to Newman. getting over the advantage line. A slip there by Allen. Klusman to Jordy Meyer. Trying to find some space, but it sits up for Reese Duplessis. Slips the tackle. Does really well, Reese Duplessis. Worked on the blind side there. But bundled into touch.
Good offense by Luca Liebenberg and a strong carry by Reese Duplessis to put them into a slightly favourable position, Justin, but then followed up by fantastic defence by Bishops. And at this stage, it is Bishops that's playing all the rugby.
Castle to throw. Short ball there to Mtombeni, and Castle, he has a run himself, flirting with the touchline. Sharples at first receiver, takes contact. The game is waiting to open up here. Meyer uses the boots. Tough one there for Burton, so he has to clean up. And Boys High will love that.
Great option there by Meyer, looking for the cross kick, and probably great weight on it, just slightly to the left for Big Bingo Ivanisevic to gather that, and that would have been exciting to see the big man into space again. Line it right on the halfway line, Bishop's ball, Boys High ball, and an opportunity for them here to get a crack.
Great turnout here by the spectators at Brook Street. It's almost like a mini Newlands. Alberts to the rescue. Nathan Bezada notes the strong number 12. It's there for Loan Horn. Loan Horn and Quinn Horn are cousins. Strong run by Irvin Ruiz. It's turned. Well, that's a big moment. You get the feeling, Andres, that the next team to score, it's going to say a lot in the outcome of this game.
It definitely will, Justin. And great defence there by Bishops. Big Loan Horn carrying strongly, and Bishop sending numbers into that contact situation and managing to keep him up and force a turnover. A little bit of frustration creeping in also, Justin. Both these sides desperate to win, not getting out of this match that they want to. It's not as much fun playing the game in the weather as it is today. Not as free-flowing as you'd like it to be. A lot of hard work having to be done. You can see a slight bit of a frustration creeping in, and I'd like to say, I'd like to think that the team that keeps their heads in this match and focuses on the right things is the team that will win this match.
Klusman with a grabber kick for touch. And he finds touch.
This Bishops team have played the second half incredibly smart. They've managed to get hold of the ball, and they kept on kicking it into the space. They kept on kicking it in behind Boys High and not allowing them to play rugby in their own half.
Alistair Williams is on. Alberts with the take. The captain. Van der Sant sends it to Meaden. And that's not out. Luca Liebenberg has a lot to do, but Ivanisevic has to gather. Well, that was great tactical play there by Boys High, and they are in a great part of the field, Andres.
That's a great result. Fantastic kick by Kian Meaden, something I would have expected him to do a bit earlier. A big, massive kick downfield. Not easy for Ivanisevic to kick it out from there, and a fantastic attacking opportunity.
More crabbing there, and then eventually coming right. And this will be difficult to stop. Alberts and Van Heerden are at the back. And if Boys High score now, well, as I say that, Bishops get the penalty.
Very lucky there, Bishops. They're under the pump there, Justin, and Boys High just starting to find a bit of momentum. And a fortunate penalty going in their favour.
Bishops, the kids have travelled far this morning. Meyer makes sure of that kick.
Good kick by Geordie Meyer. Not easy into this wind as it has died down a little, but still a strong breeze into the face. Not the worst result there for Boys Eye, but they'd want to capitalise and get their hands back on the ball.
Turnover, Lohan Horn, the open side flanker, gives it to the mammoth, Ruben Besta. He is enjoying himself on the Brook Street Fortress, and it's a turnover. Boys Eye blowing 2 chances to just add some comfort in the scoreline for the Mandries.
They're forcing the last pass there by Adrian Halbers, trying to get a magic offload away, and he is a quality player. In normal weather conditions, he'd do that with his eyes closed, but in these conditions, Justin, better to do the hard work. We've mentioned this before. Don't expect the easy yards. You have to work hard for every hard yard that you get. You have to take the direct route to put pressure on teams in these weather conditions.
Well, Bishops have done wild scrum time in this game, and that's been knocked on, and you can just see Geordie Meyer, so much frustration there between him and Klusman. And Boys Eye, well, if they can score now, it might be a long way back for Bishops. There's about 17 minutes left in this fixture. Paarl boys, 4 points in front. And if they score now, Bishops will have to score twice in rainy conditions. Van der Sant will feed. Meaden, that might have been forward. And it is forward. Well, as well, Andres, this game in terms of rankings, it will shake up a lot because a lot of the critics don't know really where to place Boys High. Some are saying they're 13th in the country, some are saying they're 6th. And the critics are saying that Bishops are at about 20th. Boys High need a result, and they need to make sure they win here today to keep their season a respectable one.
Yes, they do, Justin. They're just not finding their straps. A little bit of unforced errors creeping into their match or into their game, and they're not quite getting the momentum that you'd expect from them. Little unforced errors like that, a knock on here, a forced pass there, a little forward pass by Kian Meaden, the pass that he never had to throw, allowing Bishops to get back into this half. And when Bishops have the ball, they're playing good rugby. They're very unfortunate not to have more tries on the board.
Just see there, Javier Farmer, the left winger, and there's the 2 big front rows. Ruben Besta, well, he's bigger than the rest, the big man. Tavet Vulita, the loose head prop, and Alistair Williams, the hooker from Paarl boys. Oliver McRoberts also in picture there with Alex Castle and David Curie. And there is a change. Well, the Mammoth is coming off the field. My goodness, he's a big kid. Doesn't look that happy. He wants to slide around in the mud more. Why are you bringing me off, sir? Well, that is a great leg drive. My goodness. David Nivison. Well done, sir. Klusman to the short side. Finds Ollie McRoberts. The prop forward. It's ripped away. Reece Duplessis sends it downtown. Geordie Meyer has to save the ball. The Boys High spectators are going berserk again on that corner, and it's a penalty.
Good work done by Evan Ruiz to get over the ball and compete for it, and a penalty goes the way of Boys High. An opportunity here for Kian Meaden to put his team into attacking position, Justin. And just every time they've got into this position, they've forced the pass, they've knocked the ball on, they've made silly mistakes, and you'd want to see them here just go the old-fashioned way. Hey, one pass, go forward, use the weight advantage, use the strength advantage, and get some points on the board, as they are at the moment. Adrian Ambrose, the captain, leading that drive with distinction.
Evan Ruiz, 5 meters out. Van der Sant takes his time, gives it to Vulita. The loose head prop. It's a big moment now for Boys High in this game. Bezuidenhout back on the inside to Kian Meaden, looking for a way through. Alberts says, give it to me, the captain. Patience is the name of the game here. Ivan Roos. Mtombeni making a tolling tackle there. Van der Sant goes to Loan Horn. The open side flanker, Van der Sant to Carlu Ace. Bishops doing everything in their power to get the turnover. And you've got to commend them. Playing in a difficult part of the field, they know that they can't let Boys High get another point in this fixture.
You have to commend them, Justin. The guts that they've shown to keep this team out, the massive tackles they have put on the big boys like Evan Roos and Adrian Alberts. A lot of heart's gone into this defensive effort by Bishops, and no reward from it for Boys High. They'll be disappointed, but they're still in a fantastic position here to get some points on the board.
So Bishops, they're not out of the woods yet. Boys High look like they've brought on Gideon van Wyk. Nervy times for the spectators. Bishops win their own ball. They hit it up through Victor Allen. He's done a terrific job, the stand-in captain, Geordie Meyer. And that's a decent clearance. But they'll be under the pump here again with a rolling maul drive, Andres.
There will be fantastic clearance by Geordie Meyer with the left foot. Not his preferred foot, as you can see, and an opportunity here for Boys High to get the maul going again.
Alistair Williams at the back of that maul. And we've seen this sight for hundreds of years from Boys High. Meaden to Bezuidenhout, trying to spot a gap. They've had their chances, Boys High, and if they want to close out the game, now is the time to do so. Gideon van Wyk gaining some meters. It's Evan Roos again. He's had a big game, the number 8. Van der Sant. And again, an unforced error. Well, Andres, if Bishops can get out of their own half, anything can happen here.
Definitely, Justin. Again, a little unforced error by Kian Meaden forcing a pass, and the runner's overrunning that ball. You know, it takes a bit longer for the ball to get through the hands in these conditions. So Kian Meaden, all those runners coming at him, slightly overrunning it, and unfortunately forcing the pass. And another turnover, another win, you might say, for Bishops in this tightly fought contest.
Well, the fields here in Paarl have taken a beating, and so have the players. 14 plays 10 with 10 minutes to go. Boys High in front. Victor Allen. Great stuff to Harry Newman. He has pace, but great defense by Boys High. This is what Bishops needed. A kick by Klusman. Siverston is up for it, the replacement player. Ivanisevic has to retrieve. And the call is a 22.
A great option there by Van der Sant. Probably the best one they could have taken. Just slightly overcooked the kick. But that's the sort of game they have to play, Justin. They have to keep pushing Bishops into the corners and make it tough for them to get out of this half.
Finds touch. A bit of commotion. Boys High have the lineouts. Kaplan just having a word there. The Bishops boys also getting involved now. Oh, will we be in for a fascinating finish here in the last 10 minutes? Delivery from Williams. Hacked to Ivanisevic. Says we need to get back in Boys High's half. Siverston. A little bit of a step, but he meets the Honey Badger. 14-10. It is really tight in the second half. No points scored. Alistair Williams. Bishops have it back. Well, it's a chance now for Bishops to really convert here.
Great opportunity for Bishops, and they're doing fantastically well defensively, Justin. They're getting off the line extremely hard and making it tough to Boys High to play rugby, and rewarded with a penalty. An interesting option taken here with a strong breeze into his face. Geordie May deciding to go for goal. I would have thought this is an opportunity for them to nudge it into the corner, have a drive going, keep the ball in hand, get 5 points on the board, and then go to Boys High. Listen, you go and win it from here.
Well, the good thing for Meyer is if he does miss, he just needs to make sure it crosses the dead ball line so they can retrieve the ball back. Can Geordie Meyer make it a 1-point ball game? A beautiful kick in terrible conditions. 14 Paarl boys, Bishops 13, just under 7 minutes to go. Whoa, anything can happen here.
That was a fantastic kick. I was about to say that was an attempt at an impossible kick to kick over, and then Geordie Mayer goes and kicks it over. 1 point in it, 7 minutes to go, Justin. This will be exciting.
Luca Liebenberg. And he beats one. He's got some magic, this boy. Still going. This is what the Platinum Blues need. What a run by the right winger. Bishops know that if they can score, they could make history. Boys High defending an 8-year record against the Platinum Blues. And that's out on the full. Is there something in the air?
And forced error by Boys High, and they've made plenty of those today, Justin. Not being their best match of rugby. Fighting and holding on to a 1-point lead here. And Bishops with everything to prove.
Boys High almost get it back. Hacked away by Castle. Siverston. Tough work for him. That's a terrific kick. It was a difficult one for him to gather, and he has pinned Bishops back. What a kick that was, Andres.
Terrific kick by him, and the wind and the rain is belting down again. It's getting tougher as we speak, and it's going to be tougher and tougher for Bishops to get into the half of Boys High. 5 minutes to go. 1 point in it.
Sharples manages to retrieve the ball. There's David Nivison. Will something majestic happen out here? Klusman finds Curry, the tight head prop. Boys High defending strongly. Harry Newman to Geordie Mayer. Massive hit there from Boys High. If Boys High can get the turnover, they could close out the game. Bishops playing, trying to look for that extra space, but Boys High have it back opportunity.
A lot of the 10-power boys are at the moment, and they under a bit of pressure right here, and they're responding in the right way. They're responding with energy, they're responding with some enthusiasm, and they're looking to close this game out.
Well, Bishops actually have the scrum. They'll have to go the distance. In it goes by Klusman. Victor Allen. He's tried all game, the inside centre. Geordie Mayer in all sorts of trouble. And this is the moment now for Boys High. Boys High get a much needed penalty. And points here will put their season back on track. Quinn Horn, who scored in the first half. Ripped away there by Van der Sant. Harry Newman toes it ahead. It's crazy stuff out there. Bishops, what is happening?
It's an absolute mess, Justin. It's just mud and rugby balls everywhere you look. Bishops, I don't know how Jonathan Kaplan came up with that call, but I might just say it's probably the correct one. Scrum to Bishops. 2.5 minutes in this game, 70 meters to go, 1 point in it. What is going to happen?
Well, historically, when Bishops have won at the turn of the century, it's only been by a few points. It's happened 3 times after 2000, and it won't happen with a free kick like that. Boys High, will they look to wind down the clock, or will they look for another score? And another score for Boys High will be a confidence booster. Just remember, although they have only lost 2 games in 2018, it did come against the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country, Craig College and Paarl. Evan Roos knocks it on. Well, Bishops have another chance here. Calls it forward.
Tiny margins, extremely tiny margins, Justin. If that ball will not go forward, we had Luca Liebenberg into space and 60 meters of open field in front of him.
Andries today, who has been your Liberty man of the match?
Justin, extremely messy match and not much to pick from. A lot of hard work being done by both packs of forwards. The back's not seeing a lot of the ball, although I thought that Geordie Mayer has done exceptionally well to manage his game for his team. And for me, Liberty man of the match today in this fixture, captain of Boys High, Arjen Alberts.
Harry Newman finds contacts. Well, this will be something special. If Bishops can go the distance here, it'll be what dreams are made of. About 80 meters out. Boys High in the right place on the field. Evanezovic, space for Luca Liebenberg. Still going. And that's been lost forward. Well, that was great play by Liebenberg. And Boys High, well, if they can close this scrum out, their season is back underway before they face Landbou next week.
One last scrum for Boys High to put this game to bed. It's been a messy afternoon. It's been a tight forward battle. Not a match that the wingers would have enjoyed, but I tell you what, Justin, with all these scrums, I can tell you that every single front row forward would walk off this field with a smile on his face.
Boys High having a torrid time at that scrum. And they've got to make sure they win the ball back. Alex Castle, the hooker of Bishops. Boys High just need to retrieve the ball here. Going up again.
Bishop's trying everything to get their hands onto the ball and trying to be a little sneaky at scrum time also. A wily old Jonathan Captain, he sees everything, and he's had a fantastic match also, Justin. He's called what he's seen, he's made the right calls every single time, and it's always enjoyable to watch a match of rugby being officiated in the way it has been today.
Well, it's a feisty moment in the game. Last play of the game, Bishops trying to do everything legally to get the ball back. And Boys High, well, they just want to get the ball out of there.
Slight little hold up here. It looks like Charlie Yates is injured. And Bishop asking to get another guy onto the field. They need 8 forwards to try and get the ball back, because this is their last chance, Justin. This is all they have.
Well, the teams, this is the 87th clash. Paarl Boys High trying to get their 43rd victory. Bishops have won 41. How tight is that? And there's been 3 draws. Boys High, make no mistake. Van der Sant says that's the game. 1 point it was. Paarl Boys 14, Bishops 13. Boys High are back on track after not winning in May with their 2 clashes against Grey College and Paarl. Bishops Andries, they came here as underdogs, and it was a good performance by the Platinum Blues, considering they didn't have captain Justin Mother, they didn't have the young and inspirational Willie Rose, and then also Izzy Wharton, who was crucial in their first try of the game. They did a good job. Boys High had to dig deep.
Yes, they were exceptionally good today, Bishops were. They've given a good account of themselves. They came here to play rugby and they did that well. Boys High, on the other hand, difficult conditions for this side. They've come off 2 losses and they needed a win to get themselves into the right way, get the bit of momentum back into their season. Not the prettiest match of rugby we've seen, Justin, but we've seen a lot of skill out here. Rugby played in its purest form between these schoolboys. Always enjoyable to watch them play. It's always enjoyable to watch a contest. It's been a great day of rugby and extremely blessed with the rain still coming down on the Western Cape.
So we saw no tries in the second half. 2 tries scored by Paarl Boys in the first half through Ruiz and Horn, and David Nivison scored the try for Bishops. That's all from us out here at Fortress Brook Street. The scoreline might not show it, but it was a physical encounter and a classic encounter. Paarl Boys 14, Bishops 13. Paarl Boys go on to play Lundbo next week, and Bishops have a triple crown showdown at the Tinky Haynes Field in Rondebosch.